Welcome to the Thriving in Her Purpose podcast with Krystle Austin, life coach, counselor, author, and speaker. I help purpose-driven women who are on the cusp of pursuing their vision, but struggling to overcome barriers holding them back and realize their value, worth, and identity so that they thrive in their purpose. Hey friends, this is your girl Krystle Austin, host of the Thriving in Her Purpose podcast. We are on episode 20. Can y'all believe that? That may be small to some, but to me, it is a big thing. God is doing something here, and I cannot wait to see how God develops this podcast and how He will continue to work through me to reach lives. Many of you don't know, but I am an extremely quiet person, and I'm an introvert. However, God is using my voice and my visibility on various platforms to speak to others. People who know me may say, Quiet Krystle isn't so quiet all the time. And you know what? Just thinking about that, it ties into what I will be sharing with you today, which is, don't be realistic. It's common to hear someone say, be realistic. What you are envisioning is too far-fetched. You are thinking too big and need to come back down to reality. If you haven't heard that from someone else telling you, it's likely that you have thought that about your own idea or vision at some point. But going back to what I said a minute ago about how me being a quiet person ties into this topic, based on my personality, it would be more realistic for me to focus on doing things behind the scenes. It's not really my personality to be in the forefront, on stages, speaking on different platforms, putting myself out there publicly. It's more realistic for me to be in the background, but it's not that way. I am showing up in all those ways. No matter who you are, no matter what you think you can or cannot do, God can do something unexpectedly. God can do through you what seems to be unrealistic. And I really enjoy doing what I do. Was it uncomfortable at the beginning? Yes. But you can feel it when God puts something within you, and you have to get it out. You have to be obedient to the call. I envision God bringing me places and putting me on platforms that I would have never imagined previously. It doesn't seem realistic, but God can do things in unexpected ways. Why is it that we believe in God and know He is all-powerful and can do exceedingly and abundantly, but we doubt Him doing those things through us? Why do we believe in a God that can do the impossible, but we limit our belief in what God can do in our lives? That was my main thought when I was preparing for this podcast episode. We stay in this realistic space and mindset, but we can believe big. We can pray and ask God for amazing things. We can ask God to reveal how He can work through our lives to bless Him, others, and ourselves. And I'm not just talking about materialistic things. But don't box yourself into what you think you can only do and how far you think you can only go. You may have to develop your skills. You may have to take action without being ready. And let me be transparent here. I have insecurities about my speaking. But you know what? I do it anyway because this is a calling on my life. God can turn something you are insecure about into a testimony, or to use in a business or a ministry. When God is with you, He will equip you. In a previous episode, I talked about how Moses kept telling God that he was not an eloquent speaker and could not do what God was telling him to do. He was basically saying, be realistic, God. I'm not the one. I can't do that. If you need me to do something, give me a mission that is more realistic. So, don't judge your potential off your current circumstances. God can work things through you that don't even seem real. You'll be looking at yourself thinking, who's that about yourself? And you will say to yourself, only God. God is the only one who could have me here. Another point I want to make is to think bigger about the life that you can have, meaning the life you desire. You may be sharing with others how you see your life, where you want to go, where you want to move to, travel to, work, the kind of house you want. And a small-minded person may say, that's crazy, be realistic. Or you yourself may be in a place in your life where you see that vision and you are working hard, but circumstances seem to have you stuck and your goals seem to be out of reach. At times you may say to yourself, be realistic. Sometimes life will have you questioning yourself and thinking, maybe it's not meant for me. Your environment plays a part too. What kind of people are you around? Who's speaking into you? What do you see around you? Maybe you need to change who you spend time with. Maybe you need to have a change of scenery or move to a different place. So be around people who speak life into you, who encourage you to go for your dreams, no matter if other people say how unrealistic it is. What I want to also say is to be in alignment with God. Be obedient to God. I want Him to be the one opening and closing doors for me. I want to take the action steps that I need to take in order for Him to trust me with what He has for me. I know I need to prepare myself for what that vision is. I need to learn and educate myself on it. I need to hone in my skills. Maybe I need to go to school or to network. Allow the Holy Spirit to guide you so you can take the right steps in the vision God gave you. So don't limit God. The same God we read about that has done miraculous things can do the same in us, through us, and for us. We can go to Ephesians chapter 3, verse 20, which says, now unto Him that is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we can ask or think, according to the power that works in us. He can do even more for us than we can even imagine. God's plans dwarf our plans for our lives. Also in that verse, He says, according to the power that works in us. We are given that power when we give our lives to Christ. That's the key to unlock that power so He can do exceedingly abundantly in our lives. We don't have to be realistic with our vision. As a matter of fact, thinking realistically could be a lack of faith. It can also be that you are trying to be in control. You are putting the power you have before God, who has all the power. He can do miraculous things. He can work out things in a way we don't even understand. He will guide us along our path into purpose with each step orchestrated by Him, no matter how uncomfortable that walk is for us. He will give you what you need to walk out what seems to be those unrealistic tasks you thought you could not do, to get you to the seemingly unrealistic life, full of abundance that you so desire. We can have that life. So don't be so realistic. Believe in what God can do in you, through you, and for you, even beyond your own imagination. If you are a woman who has been striving to walk in your purpose, but struggling to overcome barriers holding you back, reach out to me. To connect with me, you can find me on Facebook at Krystle Austin. That is Krystle. and on Instagram at I am_Krystle Austin. Send me a DM if you want to chat or discuss more about working with me. I